how in the fuck these videos wind up in my suggestion, I'll never understand.
And now, to close out the day, we get the death of George Herbert Walker Bush, number 41, who was a member of Yale Skull and Bones, just like his father Prescott Bush, just like his son George W. Bush.
I am not now, nor have I ever been, a member of the Skull and Bones. Fuck.
And I said why we were going to see George H.W. Bush die at age 94. He's now dead at 94. I said if he didn't die in September, he would most likely die in November, the 11th month.
Now see, that's where these guys fucking kill me. They make predictions, it doesn't happen, and then they go, oh, well, then it's gonna be this day. And they're able to do that shit because, first of all, it's easy to do. You just go, oh, well, I thought it was gonna happen that day. Let me redo the math. Oh, now it's gonna be this day. Like, you just, or next year. Like, come on, man. Like, if he would have said November 30th, that's the fucking day. And people would have been like, wow, really? Like, November 30th of this year? Yeah. November 30th this year, George Herbert Walker Bush will pass away. I'll be states away. It isn't going to be me. But I'm saying on that day, the man will pass away. I don't know how. Like, I don't know if he figured out how, you know, like heart failure or whatever. But, like, I don't know. Just, that's the day. Like, that would be fucking impressive. I'd be like, wow, okay, that was something. But he said September 4th because he's 94, numbers, and that wasn't it, you know, so, no, other things, we'll get to it, hold on.
He has now died on the last day of the 11th month, and I'm going to show you why it happened today. It's bigger than just 41.
I mean, I would imagine why is because after 94 years, his body just said, yeah, we're done. And that was it. Like, not to get too grim about it, but like, I think that's why it happened, and yeah, it's bigger than what you might think. Like, come on.
We're going to cover a lot of information here.
And that is no joke. This video is 40 minutes long. You may have noticed that my video is not, because I am not going to go through all of it, because honestly, I kind of slept through most of it. So we're not gonna go as far as I made it, because even that was a long way through. We're gonna go enough for you to at least get a taste of what's going on here. And don't worry, explanations are coming.
The point of this information is to understand how the world of elite, as we call them, operate. They do everything by a code that is hidden within the English language in the Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar system we're now on. Been educating about this for 5 years. I wrote a book about it. You can get the book.
Alright, let me interrupt his fucking commercial for a second and explain that. We gotta kind of unpackage that, right? He's talking to people that he talks to a lot. He's on live stream, whatever. This is not for new people to understand. We gotta go through the primers first. I'm gonna help you with that. I didn't do a whole lot of research into this. I'll admit. I watched this one guy's video. I slept through a lot of it. But I'm a smart person, and I kind of grasp the meaning of things as people go through describing them. Here's what I'm gathering. This guy figures that the elites, right, presidents, world leaders, very wealthy people, they run their lives based on a numerical code, right? You'll find out that it's actually 4 numerical codes, and actually if you watch more of the video that I look at here, you'll see that it's up to 6, right? A lot of numerical codes, but nevertheless, they live their life based on this very, very strict, multifaceted numerical code system, right? Wherein they plan out the events of the world down to, at the very least, the day. Because he's saying that they planned George Bush's death down to the day based on this numerical code. And they've been doing it since at least the creation of the English language. That's what this guy's saying. I just want you to understand that, right? Here we go.
It's linked in the description of every video I make. It's about 800 pages long, and it's about $5. And to get your money's worth, you just got to read the first 5 pages. The rest is all bonus.
So, okay, when he said the rest is all bonus, I literally, the first time I heard it, I thought he was about to say bullshit. It's the word that popped into my head when the bees started coming out of his mouth. What do you want from me?
I'm going to skip past what's coded in the headline and just get to the meat of this.
Yeah, I like a man that just wants to get to the meat. Wait.
So it's November 30th. 11 plus 30 is 41.
Holy shit, it is.
George H.W. Bush was the 41st president.
Holy shit, he was. It's all starting to make sense now.
There's an author out there. His name's Manly P. Hall. He was a Freemason. He wrote the book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. And in that book, he shares briefly about this code of letters and numbers. He shares 2 ciphers.
2 ciphers.
This is the cipher he says to investigate. What this is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. So S is the 19th letter of the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4. When you get to S, it's the 19th letter. The numerology of 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. So S is 1.
Alright, he goes through that really fucking fast. You may not have followed entirely. Here's what it is. You assign to every letter in the alphabet a number. 1 to 26, right? 24, 26, 26, whatever. So, right, you got the letters A through Z, numbers 1 through 26. A is 1, B is 2. Now, what he's doing here is he's reducing the number values to their lowest possible state through addition. So, when he gets up to a letter that happens to be the 19th, like S, he adds 1 plus 9, getting 10, which is not the lowest value. So then he adds 1 plus 0, and that's how he arrives at 1. Right? So you get the numerical value, and then you reduce the numbers to their smallest single-digit state through addition. Right? Cipher number 1.
K is the 11th letter. 11 is 1 plus 1 is 2, so K is 2. U is 21, 2 plus 1 is 3. L is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. So you do that with each letter. You break it down. You get the gematria value of the word. Skull and bones is 41.
Now, gematria. I don't really get the entirety of the grasp of that, but I imagine that that's the value you wind up with whenever you run these letters through this cipher and then add them all up. That's their gematria value. I don't really think that knowing any more about it means anything other than that. Whenever he says gematria value, that's what he's fucking talking about. Now, I don't know why, if he's not reducing the individual letters, why he doesn't then reduce the result, therefore resulting in 5. But, hey, I'm not a master of this. I am but a novice.
So that's one cipher.
1.
The 4 ciphers you want to know to see everything are the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26.
We're up to 2. Just a straight, normal, numerical value to every number or letter. 2 ciphers.
The alphabetic order with numerology, which we just did.
Numerology is where you reduce the numbers. That's what he means when he says numerology. It's the reducing the numbers to a single digit. 2.
And then the other two are just flipping the alphabetic order around, making Z1 counting back to A as 26.
Now I can see how he would argue that it's still just the two ciphers. Because all you're doing with ciphers 3 and 4 is reversing it. However, I had to say what you're doing with ciphers 3 and 4, so fuck you! 4 fucking ciphers! You're up to 4 now, dude, to make this work. You need 4? Really?
And then using the numerology on that order.
4.
So we're going to talk about these 4 ciphers, and you'll see just how exact of a puzzle this is.
So exact. You need 4 ciphers to figure it out.
With regards to 41, it has a connection to the name George Herbert Walker Bush. His name in gematria sums to 118.
Not 41.
This year on September 4th, 9/4, the day leaving 118 days left in the year, he was honored for his 1,000 points of light speech. And we'll get to how that connects to 94 later.
I was actually still awake for that. And it was when it started, I think I was out like 5 minutes after that. So it led up to me falling asleep. So there you go.
But it wasn't an accident that he was honored on the day leaving 118 days left in the year.
It was not an accident. This man is claiming that this was planned.
I even speculated before that day came after McCain passed that we might see him die on September 4th. Instead, there was a story about him getting honored for the 1,000 points of light and how he was in ill health.
Yeah, I slept through that shit.
I also said that we'll see how his death is connected to John McCain's. I'm going to show you just how connected his death is to John McCain and days as we move along.
I slept through that.
But Skull and Bones 41, when you write out George Herbert Walker Bush 118, when you write out 41, also 118.
Holy shit! Now we're writing out numbers and using 4 different ciphers to decode them.
And there's a greater piece here. The word Templar has gematria 41. The Knights Templar were a Masonic order, just like Skull and Bones is a Masonic order.
You see where this is going?
And Skull and Bones, which number 41, George H.W. was a part of, Skull and Bones gets their symbolism from an ossuary, which is an ancient way of burying the dead, which is how the Knights Templar buried their dead.
See, like, he's seriously going back to the development of the language. I'm I think I've done enough at this point. But, like, he's claims are large. And let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say that there is an ancient order. And we're talking ancient. We're talking development of the English language. Ancient order. He gets into the Bible and shit. Like, ancient order, right? Of people who control the most wealthy and elite individuals in the world. And they control them through using all manner. He talks about a bunch of different ciphers. He winds up using 6 at one point. He's got 6 different ones. They control their lives through using these ciphers in the English language. Like murder has a I don't know, 56 or some shit like that, but that connected with this, which is it's like 8 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but on fucking nerd steroids, like mathematics steroids. Exponential steroids. Right? That's what this is. It's 8 degrees of separation. And you know, I bet you every time something didn't add up, they came up with a cipher that did. And that's the interesting thing about this, as far as I'm concerned. What interests me the most is the level of coincidence. You know what I mean? And that's what intrigues me about this whole video. I mean, I know I did sleep through a good portion of it. It's 40 minutes long, and it's just all numbers over and over again. It's just, and he's got a very nice voice. So, yeah, like, it is kind of staggering, the level of coincidence, but at the same time, math is a funny thing. It is, at one point, it was considered magical, what you could do with mathematics. And it was that way for a reason, because it's a very interesting thing. And when people do this kind of shit, it's very interesting to me. But at the same time, the claims they make upon this interesting fact that there is a cabal of people controlling the deaths of ex-presidents down to the day. That is a bit much for me. That's a bit much for me. I'm sorry. That's a bit much for me. Like, I always think conspiracy theories are interesting to hear. I always think they're fun to kind of discuss. But like, they have to have some degree of possibility for me to go, okay, I can buy that. Because I don't buy it. Like, where are these people? Are they just normal, everyday, average people that you meet out in the world? You could be working with one of them. And he goes home from work, he goes into his apartment that's all like calculators and math sheets. And then he just plans out existence for all of these high-powered people. Or is it like literally the underground cave fucking structure with everything's lit by fire and everybody walks through it with cloaks and masks and... Cause come on, man, like... I don't know. These kind of things make me laugh. I don't know. There are a couple of people I know that are big into, I don't know if they're big into this kind of shit, but they're big into the whole conspiracy theory type of thing. And I don't know, maybe I'll see if I can invite one of them onto the show sometime to chat with me about conspiracy theories, because I think that might be interesting. That might be fun at the very least. I don't know. We'll see what's going on with that. But, it's just like... I don't know, man. The whole fucking thing of it, this level of... Like, this is some beautiful mind shit. And I if it was so exact, how can it be so exact, so exacting, if you gotta use like 4 different ciphers to make it all fit? Like, that's not very fucking exact, man. That's the opposite of exact. That's random as hell. How did they come up with using these ciphers? Like, what? And why are you predicting the deaths of ex-presidents? Why? You know how much money you make if you predicted the next Super Bowl champions the day after the Super Bowl, and went to Vegas day after the Super Bowl and said, I want to place a bet on this team to win the Super Bowl next year. You would make so much goddamn money. And if you do it 5 years in a row, everybody in the world is going to know your name. Because you're going to be on TV. Somebody's going to hear about that. Because somebody in Vegas is going to be like, this dude has won 5 years in a row. He's got some sort of scheme. And they're going to look into you. And when they find out that your scheme is that you have cracked the code of the elites who have been controlling our lives since the English language was developed. You've cracked their code of rigging the world and every event in it based on these mathematics. And you did this to prove to the world that you have hacked their system and you figured it out. But no, you're doing this shit. Yeah, you're ossuary. Come on. Like, there has to be a point when you gotta think to yourself, perhaps I'm out of my fucking mind. And then run with that. For as far as it takes you. Because or maybe I am just the world's biggest idiot.